Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice.
Yo, what is going on Clubhouse? Like, what? Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. Yes, Clubhouse. I think I mentioned it in a previous episode that yes, I am indeed now on Clubhouse. It took me a while to get over there. And actually, I don't even think it was available for Android. And I know people are like, oh my God, she has an Android. Yes, I am not an iPhone person, and I'm good with that. So let's move past that. Yes. So available for Android now. So the rest of the world is jumping on. So I know that, excuse me, that it has been available for iPhone for some time now. So, of course, there's a bunch of folks that have already joined that train. I need to unpack Clubhouse. I really do. You guys know that I'm definitely a speaker. Not just a speaker on my podcast. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with this kind of sore throat thing. But I am a speaker. I do travel to speak. I've been keynote speaker. I've been breakout session speaker, all that sort of stuff. And I'm all about dialogue. And I'm all about people sharing their thoughts and, their dreams and all of that. Like, I love that sort of part of the networking animal, if you will. Clubhouse, I'm in two minds about Clubhouse. And I think I mentioned this before, that I'm kind of in two minds about how I'm going to utilize Clubhouse. For my own personal brand, my business, I'm still trying to figure that out. But what I've really been doing right now is kind of, I guess you could say, like studying what people are doing. So dropping into different rooms and listening to, different speakers, whether they are decorated speaker, meaning they're a career speaker, if they are, educated in the fact that formally educated, meaning if they're doctors or lawyers or, medical professionals, that kind of thing, or someone, who has gone to school in a particular area, genre, whatever it is. I always like to hear, people's perspectives on things. But also some things that I have witnessed on Clubhouse is I have witnessed a lot of patriarchy, sexism, racism, classism, all the isms, basically. I witnessed a young man scream on people for, I would say, a good almost 20 minutes about who was on the platform. And these are, and forgive me because I don't know all of the lingo for these different things. You have audience, you have moderators, you have all these different things. But it was just a complete, like, I didn't even really know what to say. They just, the easiest way to say it, they went off. because they felt disrespected by another individual who was mad about not being a moderator when they came into the room and all sorts of things. And I will say all that to say this. It really reminded me of the old school Ustream. If you guys remember Ustream from back in the day, Ustream was on the scene before YouTube, okay? And it was the letter U and the word stream, okay? If you people remember Ustream from back in the day. And I want to say IBM took it over. It's something different now, but Ustream back in the day was you could moderate people. You could basically click on them and make them a mod in the room and all that sort of stuff. But what would happen is that when people would come into the chats, if they didn't like the person, if the person, basically moderators could kick people from the room. They basically had similar authority, as the head moderator, not all the things, but very similar. It just creates this Lord of the Flies type mentality. And that's exactly what I experienced in that room, was very Lord of the Flies to me. And if you're not familiar with Lord of the Flies, I encourage you to, it's a movie actually, and also a book, where it basically left these young preteen and teenage boys from a school, and they started to argue over who was going to be in charge and who was going to do the food and who was basically going to be the leader, And so when you hear people say, if you're not familiar with it, and you hear people say, oh yeah, it turned very Lord of the Flies, that's basically what it is. So it is, the story of people being stranded and having to decide the hierarchy of their new society type of thing. So when you hear people say that, you understand what they're talking about. It was the most ridiculous situation. And even though I understood what the guy was talking about, even though I semi-agreed with him, the way that he berated people for this, 20 minutes or whatever it was just like a child having a tantrum. And it was just incredible to me. Like, I just couldn't even believe that it was even going on. And he started to lose credibility for me personally. I'm not going to speak for anybody else that was in that room, but it lost a lot of credibility for me because I understand that sometimes when you're being constantly disrespected, that you have to, at some point you have to defend yourself. And I get that, and I'm not saying that the person that was doing the disrespecting didn't deserve it, but at some point you just got to kick the person from the room and just keep it moving, because that was a lot of wasted time that we spent where we're trying to uplift the community, and we just spent a lot of time, just a lot of wasted time, and it gave them more shine. You know what I'm saying? Kick them from the room. They're out of here. They've been continually disrespectful, and I'm kicking them from the room, and this is the deal. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to believe what they want to believe. He was given his side of the story and all that sort of stuff. People, and I think that this is a saying that's floating around out there on social media. People who are committed to believing what they want about you, they're committed to the negative whatever thing that they think about you anyway. So why would you spend that much time even giving them, that type of platform, Kick them and keep it moving, So while I understand his plight, I also know, having dealt with situations such exactly like that, just kick them and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point? What's the point? We're here to learn. We're here to network. We're here to further the community and all of the social causes and things that we have going on in the Black community. Like, later for this, ridiculous individual. Later for them. Just keep it moving. But I say all that again to say this. Clubhouse can be an amazing thing. I see where it can be a very powerful tool, but I see how it can be a place for the beginnings of nonsense. I think people are so desperate for community. And let me not say desperate for community. Let me say people are looking for community. People are looking to connect. That's why clubs exist. That's why, you have all of these different social media outlets and apps and things, because people are looking for community. You have fraternities and sororities and all these different things that can be amazing tools that you can use to connect and help others and serve your community. All those things are great. But when it turns into, I'm better than you because of, that is where the problems begin. That is where the problems begin. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind about Clubhouse yet. I literally have probably been on there for like a week. But it definitely can be an amazing thing. But when it turns into, I'm better than you because XYZ followers, or I'm better than you because of whatever, it really does cheapen the app. It cheapens the whole reason for the app being created. It just cheapens the experience, really. So if you're getting on Clubhouse, this is not a place to force your views on people. You know what I'm saying? People can choose to join rooms if they want to. You can talk about whatever religious things you want to. You can talk about whatever, conversations that you want to, but you have to be careful of the things that you say and how you approach people with things. Because one reason why I thought there was a lot of people in the room is because they want to hear the drama. Why would you want to be a part of the drama? Stop giving a platform to drama. You know what I mean? Even if that person who you are ranting about is wrong, you're giving them a platform. Even if it's negative, you're still giving them a platform. Now, I could go into a whole other situation that's going on over at Twitter in the food community, but we might have to save that for a whole other episode, because we're still trying to see how that plays out. But you know what I mean? Like, let's not give these negative people more platform. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have to deal with the situation effectively, but quietly. Stop giving them a platform. Because some people don't care about being shamed. They really don't. Some people do not care about being shamed. You can shame them out in the open. They're going to be like, oh, you giving me more press. You're giving me, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people just don't care about that. Bring out the facts and make sure that people know what's going on. And once you do that, move on. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to put it out there. Media is going to get a hold of it. The right media will get a hold of it, and it will take on legs of its own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about, making a stamp out there when somebody is trying to, go left and scam. And that's basically what the situation was on Clubhouse. The individual is just coming in all kinds of sideways. And the moderator over that particular room wanted to make it clear about this individual. But at some point, it took away from the cause of the room. And the cause of the room was social causes and, what's been going on in the Black community and stuff like that. So I felt it kind of took away from, what we were trying to do in that space. So that would be my suggestion. Like I said, people are going to do what they want to do in their room. But what I'm saying is whenever I get, a hold of how I'm going to utilize Clubhouse, just know it's not going to be negativity. Just know that if something people decide to go left or whatever, I'm not going to give you a platform of negativity. I'm going to take care of it on the back end. Okay? And I don't want people to bring foolishness to my space. This is the forewarning up front. And we have to be more responsible on how we're giving out information, and do your research. Sometimes it's just simple research. You know what I mean? Verifiable research for certain things, Stop spreading misinformation. Like, just Google things and look things up. You know what I mean? Like, people just... some of the things that I've dropped into a few rooms, and some of the things that people are saying, I'm like, this is totally false. Like, people just have this thought process in their mind about what something is, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, the sky is black. Okay, at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? Not right now in the middle of the day. Like, it's just crazy the way that people just have formed in their mind that they just know that this is what it is. There's no factual basis to anything. And I would say this too, to the moderators that are putting people on these stages, you have to do some due diligence behind the scenes about these people, because they're coming on these stages or whatever they call it, or being a mod or whatever, and they have no business in this position at all. Like, they're just on there just to be seen. They're not bringing anything to the community. There's nothing edifying about, what it is that they are doing. And that's what I want my Clubhouse space to be, is a place that people, I'm not going to tell you how to believe. I'm not going to tell you, you have to do this or that. Anything that I'm saying is a suggestion. Anything that I'm saying is what has personally worked for me, or somebody who has conveyed to me directly their experience or their story. That's it. Just because you believe that something is the way that it is, if there is no factual information to back that up, it is so dangerous to just spread information and not have any type of backup to it. It just makes no sense. If I tell you, well, this works this way and that works that way or whatever, it's because I've personally experienced, and this particular thing has, been something that has worked for me or not worked for me. Or I have the direct connection to someone else who has experienced said situation. This talking in the third, fourth, and fifth person, why? What does that do? What type of differences are we bringing to people? And we can be from all different types of backgrounds, different religions and all that kind of stuff, and still come together on social issues and causes and things, especially plaguing our Black and brown communities. It can happen. But when you get all these egos in the way and all that sort of stuff, it just taints the whole situation. And I've seen a whole lot of that on Clubhouse. And I've also, and let me not just talk about the negatives, there have been a lot of positives that I've seen on Clubhouse, where I've been in this chill house. And I want to give out the name of I can't even remember the name, but I want to give the name because it's actually such a cool room. They just play music. It's like Chill House Lo-Fi, I think, or whatever the name of the room is. It's so cool. Like, everybody they're just chilling. You could drop in at any time of the day. It's almost like a 24-hour channel. I don't know if it's 24 hours, but I have experienced it, wee hours of the morning, early morning hours, afternoon, late night. So, and it has been really great. Just chill music that you can do your work to. And I haven't thoroughly enjoyed that. But like I said, Clubhouse, any of these other social media apps, Twitter, Instagram, all these other, whatever you're using, Facebook, be mindful. Be mindful of the information that you're putting out there. Fact check your stuff. And just be mindful that we all live in this world together. You may not want to interact with a whole lot of people, but here we are. and let's try to use it in a positive way. You may not agree with everything I say. I may not agree with everything you say. But let's try to find some place in the middle where we can have healthy dialogue and conversation. Okay, so that's all that I have today. Like I said, when I figure out how I'm going to navigate Clubhouse, I'll make sure to give my information. But if you want to follow me on Clubhouse, you can. I'm on all socials at Onyx Queen Media. If you want to email me, info@onyxqueenmedia.com. And I will talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.